Good evening and welcome to the Team Idris channel. I wanted to talk a minute about my writing, sort of how I become a writer, and in a way it's a message to myself about becoming a writer because it's something that's very alien to me. I didn't do well at school anyway, awful in English as a dyslexic. It was pretty much torture, but I have a 3D mind as part of my dyslexia, and my original job was disassembling and reassembling machines that were broken, and the ability to visualise all the different parts that were in it, and to take those parts and to see how they fitted together and fix the problems therein. And then as my health deteriorated around the age of 30, late 20s, I realised that this difficult job was really going to screw up my body. So I went to university, and in some ways that wasn't so much about mechatronics as about project management. And then it became about assembling a virtual world. So I did that for 5 years and became a master engineer. And then I got a job as a design engineer, designing heat exchangers. And then I really started to do virtual projects. I use AutoCAD to almost write down my thoughts in a way that other people can understand them in the form of a 2D picture and get parts to interact them. So I create a virtual 3D world in my head of heat exchangers. So I suppose in a way that's what writing is. It's the assembling of words in a way somewhat poetic, so it's easy to read, that describes a 3D world or imagery, but rather than parts, one of emotion and provocating thought. So that's how I can kind of justify why I suddenly felt the need to write in Easter of 2015, and how I was able to write, because I'd moved from an actual hands-on world with parts that you could hold on to, and then moved to this virtual world which I was able to expand on in a way that seemed very alien to me, but somehow very natural. So when I've written the various works that I've done, it seems a bit odd, but because I don't speak necessarily very well and I don't have many big words in my vocab, the writing gives me a chance to go back over these things and put down exactly what I want, in the same way with a CAD drawing. So it hasn't been as odd to me as maybe it was when I first started writing 10 years ago, or even 15 years ago, and on both accounts gave up immediately. This time it seems to have latched. This time I seem to have got it. Obviously a lot of help from cut glass in the editing to make them flow, but a lot of stuff out there as well that I've been able to draw on, and so not so much mimic, but understand the cogs of it and turn out my own work. So that probably doesn't help much in describing how I became a writer, because that was very much quite a severe attack of depression. But yeah, once I got into it, I could kind of see where I could go with it. And since then, I've been kind of exploring the boundaries of it to a certain degree. So yeah, I've had some fun with it, and I can fully recommend it. Thanks for listening. Good night.